Once we start healing our nervous system, once we start feeling safe in our bodies, magic will happen. We will start to attract the things that we desire to attract because we actually feel safe to hold it. We're not in this emotional storm, this turbulence. We're not living from our past wounds anymore because we are finally teaching our body that it's safe to be who we were meant to be. And in this episode, I will share with you what it takes to heal the nervous system and what even nervous system healing and regulation means. Welcome to Just Being Me. This is your sanctuary for all things real, magical, and unapologetically you. Here, we weave together the threads of balanced living, self love, and creative expression. Because stepping into who you're meant to be is equal parts exhilarating and messy, and it's all part of the plot. I am your host, Emma Garter, and I'm a self expression coach and creatrix. Each week, we'll dive into heart centered conversations, playful explorations, and a little bit of everyday enchantment. Whether you're figuring out life's big questions, manifesting your dream reality, or simply learning to know, trust, and love yourself, this is your space to create a life that feels so desirable that you would never want to escape it. So, let's skip the small talk and dive into the deep end. Your story starts here, and the pen is in your hand. Now, let's get into the episode. She's back. She is back. Hello, beautiful soul, and welcome back to Just Being Me. Oh my god, it has been a minute again. I've been going through my cocoon phase and really doing a lot of deep healing work. And I have a feeling that you have been too. I am Emma. Welcome to this podcast. If you're new, I am so grateful that you're here with me today. And I hope you're excited to be diving into this new series that I have decided to call Realign. And if you are a recurring listener, if you've been here before, if you know my face, and I just wanted to let you know that I love you, I see you, and I am super grateful that you're here with me. Okay. Okay. So you might be wondering, Emma, what is going on? Where have you been? And what is realigned? What is this new series that you are talking about? So I want to explain a little bit before we get into the meat of today's episode. So for the next I was going to say 6 months, but for the next 5 weeks, I think it's 5 weeks, for the next, however, there's 6 episodes that will be coming out. And I think it's 5 weeks. So each of these episodes will contain to a different chakra. So we have different energy centers in our bodies, and there are so many of them, but we have 7 main chakras, which are like they're called spinning discs. So there's a flow of energy that runs from the crown of our head down to our root. And for a lot of people, these discs, these centers are blocked or dysregulated. And in order for us to live fully aligned and fully like centered in our own being, we get to work on unclogging the crap that has been pent up in these centers of our bodies. So for the next 6 episodes, I am going to take you on a journey through all the chakras, and we are going to unblock. We are gonna get the muck out and we are gonna realign ourselves to the person that we came here to be. I'm so excited. I love talking about the chakras, and it comes from Hinduism. And I both love wearing the colors and working with the colors that align to the chakras, but I also love the fact that we get to work with something. It's not tangible, it's just energy. But when we do the work in our own life, this energy will start to shift. And this is all leading up to my relaunch. We are relaunching the podcast, baby. We are doing a complete 360, well, not complete 360, but while I've been going within, while I have been anchoring more into my own truth, I feel that where the podcast has been going is not 100% in alignment anymore. So that's why we're doing the realignment. And I am doing a full rebrand. So I will be hosting a free workshop on no, not January, on June 2nd, which will be free for all of you to join, which is like the online release party of the new podcast version, the rebrand. And I'm also hosting a in-person event, which will be like the official release party on June 7th. So if you're interested, if you live in Oslo or nearby and want to come, we are doing a picnic and painting in the park, which will be so amazing. So yeah, definitely just DM me if this sounds interesting. You will get more information as we move through the series. But yeah, I just feel that there's a big realigning energy happening right now. A lot of things have been coming up to the surface, and we have been forced to look at the things that are no longer in alignment with the person that we know we are meant to be. So I hope the series can be a guide for you, can be a helpful tool. I'm going to try to keep the episode short. This one is going to be a little bit longer, I think. But I want to just give you like little bite sides on bites. Bite sizes, bite sides. Love that. On how you can just work with your body and work with the energy that's in your body. So for today's episode, we are doing the root chakra, the root chakra, or chakra, and the color is red. What is the root chakra? So the root chakra is at the bottom of your spine. It's what anchors us into our bodies. It's our feeling of safety. It's our stability, our groundedness. It is what pulls us down to earth and makes us humans. Um, our crown, and in spirituality, I feel like a lot of people are up in their crown and they kind of ascend and they're like, I want to meditate for 7 hours. But the root. I keep messing up the chakra and the root. I love that for me. Um, the root is what keeps us here on Earth, and I think a lot of people, especially now, do not feel safe. We live in fear, and there are so many things around us that makes us feel like it's not safe to be human, that it's not safe to just live our life and really be present in this very moment because of all the war, because of all the crime and all of these things. So it's our job to work on rooting ourselves. It's our job to work on feeling safety within our bodies. So, why are we starting with the root? I like the stacking effect of like whenever you feel safe, all the other things can like get on top of each other. We need to have a stable foundation. Take a house, for example. If the foundation is faulty, if the foundation isn't stable and isn't secure to build a house on top of it, everything's going to crumble. We need to have that stability, that safety within ourselves, because if we're trying to build on top of it, if we're trying to, for example, like I said, with the a lot of the spiritual people, or the communities, they ascend, they don't feel like it's safe to be here on earth, so that they go into different realms and live in the 5D. And that's not what we're meant to do. We are meant to be humans. We came onto this earth, we incarnated into this earth for us to live as the people that we are. You came onto this earth for a reason, for you to be you and to live your fullest truth. And if you don't feel safe to do that, if you don't feel safe within your body, if your nervous system is all over the place and so dysregulated, you won't be able to do that. So that is why we're starting with a root. That is why I feel so passionate about this work. And today we're talking about how you can regulate your nervous system. So you might be asking yourself, like, what even is the nervous system? You might have heard of it. You might have heard other people talk about it, and you have maybe like a vague idea of what it can be, or you've maybe never heard of it before. So I want to share a little bit, just like the basics around the nervous system. And I have my notes down here, just so that I get all the information right. And that's also if you're watching the video, either on YouTube or on Spotify. That's why I'm looking down. Okay. So, what is the nervous system? The nervous system is your body's internal communication network. You have probably heard about the nervous system and in school. I don't remember a lot from what I learned in school, but we all know what nerves are. Nerves are these little lines of communication that goes all over your body. So, in order for me to move my finger, my nerves are sending signals from my finger up to my brain and back again. So for me to be able to do this, now I'm consciously working on it and I'm consciously moving my finger. But otherwise, if our nervous system isn't working, like if you're what's it called? Lum. If you're oh my god. If you can't move your body, if like people sitting in wheelchairs, I've totally forgot the name of it. Um Anyways, if you're someone who literally can't move your body, that's because your nerves aren't sending signals from your legs up into your brain again, and they're not communicating anymore. So a lot of people, if they cut them, like I don't know, if they get into an accident and they almost sever their arm, and they don't end up amputating, they still have their arm, but a lot of nerves are cut, they might struggle to move their fingers because the signals aren't going through. It's constantly scanning for cues of safety and danger, and it's constantly deciding if it's gonna chill, if it's gonna feel safe, or if there's something around us that um so there are two main parts to the nervous system, to the nervous system. Part number one is the central nervous system, which is our brain and our spinal cord. So that's like the main receiver of um, of the signals. It goes up until the spine and then up to the brain. And this is the part of us that interprets the signals and makes decisions and controls how we function, what happens with our bodies. And then we have the peripheral nervous system. And this is everything else. So the central nervous system is the brain and the spinal cord. The peripheral nervous system is everything else, all the other nerves in the body. So we have two parts when it comes to the peripheral nervous system, and that is the somatic nervous system, which is it controls voluntary movement. So I was talking about my finger, um, and how I'm moving that right now. That is the somatic nervous system. It's the conscious, intentional part. And then we have the autonomic nervous system, and this is the subconscious rewiring. Not no, this is the subconscious automatic part, the things that happen without us even having to think about it, like us breathing, our heart beating, and also our impulses, things that we just do automatically. This is where the magic happens when we start to heal the nervous system. So this is like it's kind of like a branch. You got the central nervous system, peripheral nervous system, and then somatic nervous system, autonomic nervous system, and then from the autonomic nervous system, there's even two more branches, and those are the sympathetic nervous system and parasympathetic nervous system. The sympathetic nervous system is our fight or flight. It's our freeze, our fawn response. So this is what lights up. These are the signals that happen in our body whenever we feel fear, whenever we feel like something horrible is going to happen, when there's a perceived threat to our life. And it increases our heart rates, it tenses the muscles, and it makes us like all the unnecessary things that our body does, it stops doing. So for example, our digestion, it stops digesting our food, because when we perceive a threat, when we perceive that our life is in danger, our body is like, okay, I either have to fight now, I either have to run super fast, and all the all the energy goes into doing that action. So the rest of our things that is happening in our body doesn't function, because we need all that energy going into our legs in order to run. And when you're in the sympathetic nervous system, you're very alert, you're very reactive, you're very overwhelmed with things. Like you can get very overly sensitive, you can even get snappy, you can get like really annoyed. And it's amazing if there's actual danger. If you're being run after by a lion, it's incredible. Or if you are almost getting hit by a car, it's great because you're getting out of the way. But if there's no danger, this is what we're here to do. So we're here to move out of the sympathetic nervous system into the parasympathetic nervous system. And like I said, we live in fear, especially with what's going on in the world right now. A lot of people live very much in the sympathetic nervous system. And that is like the main way we get signals from. But if we start healing the nervous system, if we start reprogramming the nervous system so that it's not firing from the sympathetic nervous system, but it's firing from the parasympathetic nervous system, we will start to actually be able to live the life that we want to live. So the parasympathetic nervous system, it activates when you feel safe, when you feel grounded, when you feel like there are no threats around you. It slows down the heart rate, it relaxes muscles, and it improves digestion. So all the bodily functions work a lot better when you are in the parasympathetic nervous system. It supports deep rest, connection, creativity, and pleasure. If you feel like you're always unsafe, let's take, for example, let me do the example of uh, when I was taking a break from having a part time job and only focusing on my business. So I was so stressed out about money. I didn't feel safe because I didn't have that stream of income coming in, and I was forcing the creativity for my project that I was doing last December. I was forcing that out of me. And I didn't feel any spark. Didn't feel comfortable. I felt like I was always like trying to get to the next thing, and I was like falling behind, and it was just not a great way of producing from. But when you feel safe in your body, creativity actually has a place to bloom, because there are not you don't have to focus all your energy on trying to survive. You get to focus on actually doing the things that feel good, that brings you joy into your life. So this is how we want to live. We want to be in the parasympathetic nervous system most of the time. And how do we actually do that? Well, we have to rewire the our nervous system. We have to work consciously with rewiring our nervous system and making ourselves feel safe, because it doesn't just happen. It doesn't just suddenly one day you wake up and I'm like, I feel safe and I will never worry one day again. No, we get to consciously bring in the safety within our lives. So, Emma, how do we do it? How do we actually heal and rewire our nervous system? Well, I have a lot of practices for you, which I'm gonna just run through very quickly. So, the first thing that I want to talk about when it comes to practices is vagus nerve practices. So, the very vagus nerve, the vagus nerve is the longest cranial nerve in our body. And it's basically the main character when it comes to your parasympathetic nervous system. Um, so, how you do this, how you heal and work with the vagus nerve, is by humming, by gargling water, by doing things that like soothes it. So that also is singing or even breathing. You can do like deep belly breaths into your body, into your belly, like deep, deep into your belly for 4, and then releasing it for 8, and really just working on slowing down. That's like mainly the best hack that I have for healing your nervous system, slowing down, not feeling like you're always stressed. Another thing you can do is shaking. I love this. There are a lot of somatic ways to work with your nervous system, and shaking is literally just like moving the energy in our body. And that way you actually let it out instead of it just sitting within you, because stress can compound over time if you don't actually let it out. You can also do intuitive movement, dancing, moving your body is a great way to rewire your nervous system. Grounding in nature, walking barefoot, hugging a tree, laying down on the grass, feeling like you're held by nature, really being able to surrender and letting all that stress go. I love like imagining that you're sending love from yourself. I love hugging trees, and oh, it's just the most amazing feeling. And I imagine like a green light coming from my heart, out into my hands. Our hands are extensions of our heart. We're going to talk more about that. Like our heart chakra, our our heart chakra, and our hands are an extension of our heart. So if you imagine green light going from your heart, the heart chakra is green, by the way. So going from your heart into your hands while you're hugging the tree and sending it so much love, and then you ask for any of the stress, any of the pain, any of the things that you're holding on to be transmuted into the tree, for the tree to transmute the energy, um and letting it all go, being like, okay, I get to be held in this, I get to surrender um and not feel like I have to hold everything myself. Nature is literally like the mother energy, Mama Gaia, Mother Nature. So being able to fully surrender into her and feeling like, okay, it's okay to let go, it's okay to slow down um and take care of myself, so many things will shift. Nature has been so healing for me, and I'm a Taurus moon, so I was always meant to be a nature girly. And now more than ever, I am truly learning the benefits of just being in nature. You can also use I'm seeing 11:11 on the clock. I love that for me, for us. Um, you can also use the elements like water, being able to flow, and letting water wash you and wash the pain and the stress out of your body. You can also eat warm foods. The root is all about, like, it literally says itself, like, root chakra. No, root vegetables. So eating root vegetables, eating hot food, also calms your nervous system, and it's also easier for the stomach to digest. And also herbal teas, working with plants, chamomile, lavender. I love doing rose, chamomile, and lavender together. It's the most amazing blend, first of all. And then it's also just so healing for the nervous system. It's so soothing. So, also, just moving slower. I have found that I had a very rigid morning routine. I was doing so many things in the morning. Not having such a, like, rigid morning routine, but really just slowing down. And I know that you might be someone who checks their phone, goes onto Instagram right when you wake up. Try really hard to not do that. Try really hard to have clear boundaries with your energy, because when you go on to your phone the first thing in the morning, your head is literally like exploding with all these other expressions that is happening around you. And you might see something about Gaza. You might see something about someone moving into their new dream home. You might see someone um, like having lost their father. There can be so many things to take in from social media. And doing that first thing in the morning, and even just like during the day, having restrictions with your social media, but especially the first thing every morning, like, your our minds are so open. We have just been into dream world, we have just been like ascending and going into the dream realm, and our perception is very open, and we are very open to taking in energies that are around us and that we are focusing on. So being able to slow down, being able to just be like, okay, I'm just gonna read my book. I'm just gonna talk to my partner. I'm just gonna sit and meditate. I'm just gonna have like a dance party where I just get into my energy and um, doing whatever feels good for you. Maybe that is processing some emotions that are coming up. I had to do that today. I felt this like I've been feeling more s- not stressed, but this like um uneasiness in my chest, and that might be from caffeine. I I don't know, but that was what I was feeling, and I took some time this morning to actually feel it, and we're gonna talk about that to, not tomorrow, but in the next episode, where we're going to talk about the sacral, how you can actually move through the emotions that are coming up, and that will also create more safety within your body. Some other things you can do is to do some release exercises to express um, the pent up energy that are making you feel unsafe. And this also goes into, like I said, the sacral part, the next part of this series. But you can scream into a pillow. You can cry intentionally, thinking about something or bringing up that feeling that makes you want to cry. You can also do rage journaling, rage rituals, rage dancing, and doing even like safe burning rituals to actually get the energy out of you. Um, and you, yeah, like I talked about, like prioritizing peace, prioritizing rest and slowness, and not feeling like you have to achieve everything all at once. And this has been like my biggest teacher, not taking on too many things, not stressing myself out if I can not do it. Like, I don't have to take on things just because, yeah, I might be very excited about all these things. But how can I not overwhelm myself on purpose? And sometimes, life happens and we have a lot of responsibilities if you have kids and all these things. But how can you carve out intentional time to slow down every day? How can you carve out time and space to maybe do some of these exercises, or maybe literally just do nothing? Maybe take a nap, maybe just let yourself be held. So yeah, creating a nervous system friendly schedule, not like adding stuff that doesn't need to be there. Like, what do you actually want to do? And doing things that bring you joy, letting that be your compass and not urgency. Like, if there's something that doesn't have to be finished next week, maybe not do it until, not, and especially if you can set your own deadlines. If you can set your own deadlines, like for me now with my brand, with my coaching, I am not taking on a lot. I am taking on a lot less, and I am giving myself ample time to actually achieve it, so I can chip away on it. I don't have to do everything all at once, but I can do little like spoonfuls of things. And especially for me, I'm a projector. I don't know how familiar you are with human design, but especially as projectors, we don't have a lot of energy. Like, we really don't have a lot of energy, and we need a lot of rest. So listening to what you need, starting to listen to your body, like what is it telling you? What do you need in this very moment? And you can also use self touch. That is a great way to heal and to rewire the nervous system. Our nerves are everywhere. So being able to touch yourself, being able to slow down and letting your body know that you are safe by touch, by breathing, by doing all these things, god damn, you will start to feel so much better. And I truly feel like this work is starting to change my life. I am not as agitated anymore. I can have conversations with my partner without reacting right away. And even if I do react, I get to breathe into it and be like, okay, why do I feel like this is a threat? This is not a threat. He is just speaking his truth. And also doing the deeper work, doing the work, the shadow work, doing the looking at yourself and really looking at the things that have created this unsafety within yourself. Like, what do you believe about yourself? What are your beliefs that is making you feel like expressing yourself fully isn't safe? That makes you believe that, yeah, being fully you is not going to be supported. And letting yourself support yourself, letting yourself be your one true love, letting yourself be the person who, I don't want to say save you, but that do the work in order for you to start to heal and start to feel safe. Because we can't wait for someone else. We can't wait for anything outside of us in order for us to feel safe. And the more safe we feel, the more grounded, the more. Also, another thing you can do is to envision yourself growing roots from your root, from your chakra, and down your legs into earth. That also anchors you in. But the more we do this work, the more we will see our realities to start changing. I am in the safest relationship that I've ever been, and really, really feel like I can be myself with him. And I still have my own shit, coming up, which is not weird. I'm only 24 and I'm still on this journey, and I've been on this journey for 3 years now. And it takes time. It takes time. It's not like an overnight shift that you will feel. And I'm still working through stuff, and I still feel unsafe at times, but I've never felt this safe in my life. And it's because I have worked on healing and I don't want to say healing, but rewiring the nervous system. So that was the episode for today. I hope you enjoyed so much. I am so excited for this series. I look forward to sharing all the things that I have been diving deep into. And I'm so excited for the rebrand. Oh my God, you guys. It just feels so aligned. It just feels so, so right. And I really hope that you stay on this journey with me. Definitely hit subscribe if you don't want to miss any of the different chakras that we're working through. It's going to be a blast, and stay tuned for the rebrand. Also, if you want to join the live master class, the live workshop, definitely let me know. I will probably have a link down below where you can sign up for that waitlist. And I no and if you live in Oslo and you desire to be a part of the live or the in-person release party, DM me on Instagram. Check me out there too. It's at mgarder, EMGAARDER. And let me know if this landed for you. Send me a DM, letting me know if you've tried any of these, if maybe nervous system regulation. Oh, I'm getting hungry here. Maybe nervous system regulation is new to you, and I would love it if you shared it with a friend to spread awareness around this, because we need to feel safe within ourselves so badly in the world that is happening right now. And the more safe we feel, the more stable We are I have this like image of us standing straight up, with roots going down, and we're protected with our own energy bubble. And there's like chaos around us. There's like swirls of energy moving around us, but we're just here. We're standing so solid within ourselves, and we're paving the path forward and showing other people that it's possible. It's possible to feel safe in a world of chaos. So, thank you so much for listening. Thank you so much for being here with me on this journey. I'm so proud of you. Um, this shit can be really tough. And if you're still here listening, if you, um, yeah, even if you want to do deeper work together, let me know. I do one-on-one coaching, and we can work on exactly this and even all the other chakras. Um, so yeah, I love you so much. Sending you so much love, and I will talk to you next week, where we're diving into the sacral, which is all about passion, sexuality, money, and emotions. Bye.